Welcome to another episode of Outspoken Truths. So today we have a kind of interesting topic, I would say. I mean, everyone needs to date at one point, isn't it? So this is a topic that relates to everyone. And sometimes, or often, this is a topic that I get a lot of questions in my DMs for. So, welcome to Outspoken Truth, guys. For those that don't know, I am your host, Idol. As always, I do post them live on IG Live at the same time, so you can pop your question in directly through there, or you can just follow through a visual, because, you know, some of us are visual beings, not just auditory. So with that being said, today we're going to be talking about dating. Dating, first impressions, first date expectations, platonic relationship. What does that even mean? Can you feel love for somebody or have genuine feelings, affections and everything, but not see them as a sexual partner? And dating during COVID. So for those that don't follow me on Instagram already, I love doing little quizzes. So this time I did a quiz in regards to this topic, and the first quiz was about first impressions, dating versus the traditional norm for first dates. Today on this episode, we are actually, it's not just going to be me ranting for like 2 hours. We actually do have a guest on the show. Janviere will be joining us shortly. Just to set up the foundation a little bit, just to have that kind of open conversation, guys, that openness, and seeing how the dating scene is right now, even with this whole COVID thing. Is it the same? Has it changed? Did people have to switch up their game? Yeah. So with that being said, let's start today's episode of Outspoken Truths. For those that actually didn't know, like, Outspoken Truth used to be on a Friday from 2 to 3, and we've moved now to a lovely spot from 12 to 2 on a Sunday, so we can catch you in your zen. We can catch you when you're feeling, when you're high flying, when you are still, whether you're getting up out of bed right now or whether you are already up and on the move. We're here to support you, to elevate conversation and, set the tone right for this nice and chilled Sunday. So with that being said, we're just gonna take a small interlude, not even a small interlude, but I'm just gonna set up and see where our guest is, so that we can commence this hot topic of conversation. Funny enough, in regards to the polls, there was a lot of a consensus in regards to the females and the males. Like, everyone had you could kind of see the idea that, like, men have and the idea that females have, because females tend to say certain things and then males tend to say certain things. So before we get into that, I just want to make sure that we set this up right. I want to make sure that you guys are, in the spirit, you're feeling the mood, you are aligning with yourself. But if we are being honest anyway, dating-wise, it has to start with you. You can't be out there fishing or dating and you're not right with yourself. That doesn't make no sense, does it? So your foundation is you. But like we said, today we're going to talk about the other side to dating, the other spectrum. So with that being said, we're just gonna dial in our guest and then take it from there. I hope so far your week has been amazing. Okay, and there we go. So in that respect, let's start this this conversation. So I'm just gonna put a small interlude for you guys. We'll be back in 60 seconds with our guest. 60 to 180 seconds. Let me be specific with that one. Until then, enjoy this short clip. Okay, guys. So, for those on live, we need to call in our guest. And so, in that respect, okay, 1 second, guys. Okay, we're back. So we found it, and we're gonna give her a call and see what she says in regards. Ooh. Okay, let's see again. This one. Copy. It's a bit of a tricky one nowadays, isn't it? There we go. So, let's sign her in. Hello? Hello? Yeah. Okay, so I'm just setting you up right now. Can you hear everything? Can you hear me? Oh, actually, wait. Let me hear you. Okay. Yeah, let me see if I can hear you through the headphones. 1 second. Okay. So, go on now. Hello? Hello? Yeah. Okay. Oh, perfect. Yes. So I think we can commence now, right? So, okay. Introduction wise, you're gonna introduce yourself, and then we take it from there. Yeah. Okay. Okay, guys. Guys, we're back now. We've got a lovely guest on the line. So with that being said, just give us a quick introduction, and then, you know, we take the conversation from there.
All right. My name is 𝗠𝗃. I'm 26 years old, been knowing I'm your host, for quite a long while.
I think it's like from birth, isn't it? Something like that. Yeah. Awesome. That is great. Germany. Oh, just a quick one. So how is Germany like currently with the lockdown and everything?
I didn't quite get the second part of the question.
Oh, so how is it everything? So how is it with the lockdown? Because obviously right now in the UK we're in a lockdown as well.
Yeah, it's very unfortunate. We're on a lockdown 2.0, so it's a soft lockdown. Kids are still going to school, thank God. Besides that, restaurants have closed now, gyms have closed, but they're reopening.
Ooh.
Yeah, but it's very uncertain times right now. We're trying to make the best out of it.
Okay, I see. So, with that being said, we've got the topic today of dating, right? Dating and first impressions of dating, like first dates. So, if you were to describe a first date, what would that look like to you?
All right. Before I say anything about that, let's just set out there that yes, we try to make rules for dating that play onto everybody, but you know just as well as I know how individual dating really is. There's no one size fits all, so something that might work for me may not work for other people.
Exactly.
So, however, a first date for me, what does that look like? Lots of preparation to look cute and everything. A fine, nice restaurant or a cool activity that was prepared by the gentleman who invited me.
Yeah.
Yeah, by the end of the night, I mean, if hopefully when it's a good date, you look out to see the person sometimes soon again, right?
Yeah, exactly. It's exactly it. I mean, also, okay, you described your first date. You know, I think we do that, you know, take our time to look cute, maybe set aside 2-3 hours beforehand, do a face mask, you know, all of this. But I think also like, where I was trying to hone into was first dates expectations. So obviously you said the gentleman has arranged the activity or the date, right? So in my understanding, like we were saying, not everyone is the same, that the man pays for the first date.
Yes.
You know,
You got it right. I mean, I have a very traditional point of view when it comes to dating.
Mm-hmm.
I have never asked out men,
Mm-hmm.
and don't intend to.
Fair game.
Right? I mean, that's just what it is.
Yeah.
And they usually also pay. Like, it's like not even a discussion.
Mm-hmm.
That my experience actually have.
Yeah, understandable. Like, I feel there's a new camp of people that are coming up, because even on this IG, Instagram poll that I put out there, surprisingly enough, for a long time, it was 100% no, we're going Dutch. And there was females in there as well. Like, they were like, no, we're going Dutch. And I was like, okay, I can understand the men saying, you know, we're going Dutch, but the women. And I think this is like a misconstrued idea of the new feminist, because, yes, we are feminists, but saying that we don't need men, we can do everything a man does better, or, you know, better, doesn't mean that we should add excess burden to ourselves. Because let's be honest, from a biological point of view, men and women are not the same. Point blank. You know, point blank. So you can't now say, okay, biologically we're not the same, but everywhere else we're going to be the same. That's adding extra burden to yourself. Like, why would you do that?
Not even like the word aspect, but I mean, dating, the period of dating is when you take it down to like the very primitive way how it started.
Mm-hmm.
The gentleman trying to impress his conquest.
Yeah, you're right.
Trying to show her, okay, see what I can do for you, right?
Yeah.
I think if you take that aspect away, it takes away something that makes dating exciting. Where the man puts a lot of thought in the date, and the woman is also kind of excited and looking forward to it. When I go into it as if it was an interview with no expectations of how it's going to turn out, I think it takes away something that's very crucial to dating and romance in general.
So if you're saying, if like going Dutch 50-50 takes away the excitement, takes away the almost the appetite for dating, because you have to have an appetite.
It's like you have one foot out the door already, right? You're not really there because you're not invested. I know in this communication, in this talk, saying the word invested.
Yeah.
Seems off to some, but still, it's like you're holding one. You have one foot out the door, ready to go, because your expectations are more on the negative side. So what
Yeah, I think it's exactly that. But then also, I want to touch on what you just said about investment. I don't think it's the incorrect word. That's the perfect word to use, investment, because it's an investment of your time. It's an investment of your effort. It's an investment of your monetary investments or your funds. It's an investment of your energy. Like, personally, like me, I don't, even though you might see, I don't know, like there might be people that want to date me, I don't give them that because it's my energy. It's a privilege to have my energy. So before anything else, I was even talking to a friend and she was like, yeah, but you know, if you're going on a date or you're dating and it goes too fast, you're like giving them your body. And I'm like, it's not even you giving them your body, it's you giving them your energy. Their energy comes first, because before they can touch your body, they must have your energy. So like, are you giving that person your energy? And like, I'm like, no, like, it's not worth it. You don't have access to my energy like that. Come on. Like, exactly.
And how you said it. I mean, as a woman, you probably have quite a few suitors. Not everybody gets the time of day.
Exactly.
I don't even mean it in an arrogant kind of way, but you know, we all got a life. We all know how, you know, just because someone smiles at you, it's not like, okay, let me see what this is about, right?
Exactly. And
I invest my time, energy, as you already said, and I don't want you to come in with the attitude of she might not be the right person for you. If you have that type of energy or attitude towards a date already, I don't think your intentions are as pure as mine. So why do it at all, right?
I think it's like, why waste your time? Essentially, why waste your time? Because at the end of the day, like, it's a waste of time, it's a waste of energy. And let's be honest, it's a waste of makeup. Like, me personally, I don't like putting on makeup like this every time. It's effort, you know. So now I'm gonna go on a date, make myself look cute, think of a nice cute outfit. That's also me. That's time and energy, because I need to think, okay, this matches with that, and I wear these shoes, and then and then you know, it's a lot of effort. So essentially, if you're not excited about the person you're seeing, or if you're not into it, then there's no point. Don't waste your energy. Keep your energy to yourself. You can take that energy and harvest it into a project. You can harvest it into self-healing. Exactly. Mm-hmm.
And the people are like, okay, but when he when the man pays over this and that, like,
no.
Just because I'm nice to somebody doesn't mean I'm need the personal standard.
That's precisely it.
How good intentions work. I mean, if you're doing something out of kindness, you don't expect the other person to reciprocate.
But this is the thing. People have placed certain ideas and certain things. Like, for example, first dates. The man's supposed to pay. Certain men feel like, no, if it was a thing that we agreed upon, both of us, it should be a 50-50. But then it's like, okay, there's only so far you can get 50-50. If you're dating somebody and you're frequently seeing them, I understand that, okay, the next one is on me. But if it's a thing, you're getting to know somebody saw you, you were doing your thing, and they saw you caught their attention, it's like, hey, you know, I think you're wonderful, lovely, I would like to get to know you, then it's on the man's, you know, like, the man has to take initiative.
Yes, and again, it comes down to effort. You see, there's a certain pride that a man has when he's like, okay, you know, let me do this for you, right? And you see that it is an extra effort, actually. It's a beautiful thing that makes you feel special, you know? Like, other than that, what would make me any different than any of your friends, right?
Yes, you said it.
You would be like long term, and you make me like the person of your life, maybe, let's say it like that.
You said it.
Want to treat me from an inside like anybody else.
You said it.
That's to you, right?
Yeah, and I I think it's even what you touched upon earlier, that, you know, when we go out as friends, we go out, I might pick up the bill next time, you might pick up the bill next time, so-and-so might pick up, and it's a thing whereby we don't feel, you know, that obliged. It's just showing the other person you care, you know, because these are your people. So I think, but then when it comes to dating, there's a different intention. There is in games. Obviously, some people play dating games, you know, that's... Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Maybe you should have taken your time to get to know the person, to get to know the person a bit more via phone, chatting, whatever.
Yeah.
Took this step to find the person out.
Exactly. I think it's one of them things.
Setting yourself up for this appointment, and then you get upset and then project it onto everybody else because of those, because of this guy here.
Yeah. I think it's also the fact that when you're dating, society has played a huge role, you know, of putting certain ideas into our mind, which is, it's always this Prince Charming idea, which I so detest this. I so detest this. Like, when you watch movies or you watch stories or you watch even like most fairy tales, it's always Prince Charming, damsel in distress, you're going to be saved by Prince Charming, you know. Or the woman's life was miserable, she was always upset, then she bumps into this guy and her life turns around. And I'm just like, okay, there I understand the modern feminist, that no, this is not our role. This is not what the only thing we're here for. We can do more. So we're gonna do more. Essentially, we're gonna do more. But
However, that traditional roles or values need to be thrown out the window.
yeah, I think you have to take a good of everything. And I think, somebody wants to join us. 1 second. How are we going to do this? I think we'll join them on our Instagram Live. Okay, let's see how this goes. Okay, so send a request and then I'll let you join in. 𝗏𝗏? I think it's 𝗏𝗏. Okay.
You know, I would like to I do understand when people want to go Dutch because of financial reasons, because they say, I just simply can't afford to do that.
Yeah, but then you shouldn't be dating. I feel like then you shouldn't be dating. You're not in a position to date. Okay, I see. So date within your league. Okay, so 𝗏𝗏 says he can't keep up with the British accent. No, but you can join. Let's see how this conversation goes. Where are you actually from? That would be interesting to know. So, I understand what you're talking about, or what you put across. That, okay, if you're saying you can't afford this date, then date somebody within your league? Okay, that's what I think. Yeah, that's a more. Mhm. Mhm. Okay.
You can't have people, you know, you can't ask for people to have the same standards on dating as you have, just because it's not what's possible for you.
I understand that. I think it's also within your circle. So 𝗏𝗏, going back to 𝗏𝗏 says he's not gonna join. Is it she or he? I can't see the picture from far. Like, and it says, can you say water, please, in your British accent? water. I'm like, but I still say water. Do you want some water? Like, I don't know, like water. Yeah, water. There you go. Some water. Let's bring some water to this, topic, because this topic is hot. So, with that, you're right. Date within your pool. Date within your pool, but at the same time, date in with your water pool, like in your water pool.
Let's say your budget is for H&M clothing, mango, stuff like that.
Yeah.
But you want to shop at 𝗵𝗃𝗲, and then you get pissed because 𝗵𝗃𝗲.
Exactly. You need to upgrade yourself to reach that standard. Welcome. Yeah, so the other thing, now that you touched on this clip, I think I'm going to share this clip. I need to find it again. This woman went to a store, and the meme was, when you're broke, but your 𝗘𝗍𝗆𝗆 lifestyle won't let you, or something like that. And the woman, this is a British woman going to an American store, and she's like, how much? And this is like fur, real fur. She's like, how much? It's like, oh, these just been reduced 500. And she's like, no, darling, darling, really, 500? How much? Like, she's still trying to like haggle with them. And it's hilarious. It's the most hilarious thing I've ever seen. Like, yeah, that touches on what you were saying, that obviously, like, shop within your league. And I think even dating, in a way, this is the thing. Yes, it's an investment, because it's an investment in your future. Essentially, because it depends what you're dating for. Are you dating for a future partner? Are you dating for the time being? Are you dating because you're lonely? What's the reason you're dating? So if you're dating for that, and you know that it's an investment in your future, so it makes sense that what you're investing into this dating phase will bring that about in the future, right? So, which means, in a way, dating, or the dating scene, is also kind of like shopping. Because you're shopping around, not for the best bargain, but you're shopping around for the most suitable match, or the suitable, person. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah. But then, doesn't that... Okay, but then isn't that even talking to self-worth? Not self-worth, but the value you place on yourself. For example, you were saying there's two people. One is a 6-foot stud, comes from wealthy background, blah, blah, blah. And the other one's like a skinny guy, doesn't look after himself. But isn't it also self-worth and what you invest in yourself, Because yeah, sorry, go on. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And the highest that you can go up to is 100.
Mm-hmm.
Want to date within 70, there is some margin.
Yeah, right? Definitely. Once
we're probably gonna.
That's it.
Okay. So, but then they can't hear me.
Nothing.
I'm hearing myself though. I don't know.
Oh, so you can hear me?
Look at that.
So now you can hear me?
Yes.
Okay, I was trying to figure out how to make you play out loud.
Oh, okay.
Wait, she's not playing out loud though. For the monitor. Okay.
You sure?
Are you still there?
What you don't put the phone there?
Mm-hmm. Okay, so I think I kind of figured it out now how I can make you play out loud, because obviously on IG people weren't hearing you. So now I found out the system. Can you hear me? Oh, she's gone. Somehow she's gone. So guys, while we get our guest back, I hope you had some things to think about. And we're gonna get our guest back now. Hello, Janviere, are you here? Perfect. I don't know what happened there. So yeah, I was trying to find a system where I could hear you out loud, because obviously the people on IG weren't hearing you. It's only me that could hear you. So yeah, I think we figured it now. So you were saying about market value and that people that are dating, it's kind of like the stock market, right?
Oh, whatever. I mean, business market is also, that's how it goes. Your pool of target market, which is like the people that fit within your criteria of a potential dating partner. And then you yourself are also, a product or if you want to put it like that. It's very, very unromantic, but it's a very rational position that you take. And then when you look at it from that perspective, it makes a lot more sense why people do what they do.
Exactly. And I think it's also like we're saying, because obviously you're not hunting, but like, yeah, I don't know why I keep on using these kind of terms like hunting and you're hunting for your potential partner, your potential future, the person you're going to build your family with, the person you're going to leave a legacy with. So if that is to be said, which means that you would, this is a term me and my friend actually coined up way back when we were teenagers, right? And it was like called selective breeding. Yeah, you have to selectively breed. So, because obviously even back then you would have guys that will approach you and you were just like, nah, we're selective breeding, so yeah, you don't.
Yeah, I mean, it only
makes sense. Why would you waste your time with somebody? Let's say my priorities or my values lay on family, legacy building, something like that, and then I come across someone that I might potentially like, but that person wants to never get married, that person doesn't want children at all. Like, we want two completely different things. Why try and date that person when you know it's not going to go where you want it to go, right? So, yeah. It's not even silly to say that.
I think it's very responsible to say that. Hi, 𝗍𝗶. Lovely that you could join us on IG Live. So I want to go through like the actual responses, like the poll, and see the numbers in regards to let's see what was being said here. It says first question was first date, the man is supposed to pay. Yes, it was either yes, 100% standard, or no, we're going Dutch. And a whopping 73% of you guys think we should go Dutch.
Oh, wow.
Like, I don't know. And then when you're looking at the statistics, there's quite a few females in here as well.
Mm-hmm.
Like, so, wow. I was like shocked. I was a bit surprised by that one, but not really.
Like one of my, she's probably my best friend. She is also the type of woman who would go Dutch, right?
Mm-hmm.
She explains it to me that she kind of feels some type of guilt when she gets invited. It would even be like back in the days when we would go out to clubs and stuff, and some guy tried to invite you for a drink, and she would say no because, oh no, then I owe him a dance, then I had to stay with him all night and talk to him and stuff like that. I'm just like, whereas I was like, okay, no, if he wants to buy me a drink, like, thank you for that. If I want to check with you more, I'll do that. But if I don't want to, I don't have to, right?
Yeah.
So that's a big different point of view. Like, I don't feel that, let's say, quote unquote, guilt.
Mm-hmm. I think it's a belief system as well, and what you've heard growing up or what you've seen growing up, and essentially, it speaks to your mental well-being and your spiritual well-being, because once you realize spiritually who you are, nothing's going to be feel like I don't deserve it or I shouldn't. Yeah, exactly. I'm like, thank you, universe, I was thirsty. Yeah.
Where life has gotten so expensive that people have also it stays in the back of their mind, right? So they not only project this one-time dating thing onto this situation, but they think further and they're like, down the line, does that also equal to he's going to pay for the rest of my life, right? What it doesn't have to.
Exactly, because essentially I feel like you're building together. Like, don't get me wrong. Like, it's nice to have. There's the traditional sense. Like, me personally, the way I see it, per traditional sense, yes, the woman will have her thing, the man will have his thing. The woman is, the gatherer, the man is the hunter. So when you're hunting, you bring home the steak, you bring home the lion, you bring home. No, you're the lion, so you're not going to hunt yourself, but you know what I mean. So obviously, if you're doing that, there's a certain level of comfortability and contribution the woman needs to feel. Like, for example, providing your woman with pocket money. Like, I feel that is a great, incentive, because at the end of the day, everything else, if you look at even society, men, all they have to do, literally in society, is work on themselves and make money, and then the rest of the time they can do what they want. They don't have any social obligation. If he wants to be on a golf course, he can be on a golf course. He wants to go bowling, he can go bowling. If he wants to go diving in Mali, he can go diving in Mali. Like, there's no social.
I just last night I had this conversation with a very, very lovely couple. We also talk about that, this 50-50 idea is a very nice and sweet idea. And that's what we're aiming for. And that what feminism stands for, more or less, equal playing field, equal rights, equal opportunities. But in reality, it's not that easy to implement. And people always talk about how, he's like a family father, he's like such a great guy, when the man happens to show interest into his on his family, and when he's a good provider and stuff. But we don't have that same narrative translated into womanhood. Like, women are already expected to be like a good mother and to be like good nurturer and stuff like that. So we still hold men to a different standard when it comes to like family and what their part in it is, and it's very, very low that's expected and asked for. I believe as long as we cannot go Dutch on pregnancy and breastfeeding and things like that,
you said it. You said it. If we cannot carry this child together, I carry it 4.5 months and you carry it 4.5 months, and then when we push out, I am in labor, let's say for 10 minutes and you're in labor for 10 minutes, then there's some level of respect that needs to be added to it. But I understand at the same time that obviously when you're building a household, you're building a legacy, it's a together thing. And we have to acknowledge that, yes, it is together, but also let's acknowledge the fact that biologically we were not made like the same. So socially we don't have the same also again like for us, because even if you think about it, women, when did women actually start getting equal pay? It wasn't that long ago. It was like 20 years ago or something like that. So exactly like you're saying, there's still a gap, and even sometimes they might still think, oh, even though overtly it's not done, but covertly it's like, okay, you're gonna make this person or this woman in charge of this. How old is she? Is she gonna get pregnant? Are we gonna have to like pay her maternity leave? All these things come into play. And then I know certain companies give men now maternity leave, but paternity leave, but I don't feel like that's. But that's not. I don't feel like that's playing out the or evening out the playing field. Because if the dad is getting paternity leave, the way I see it, you should add that paternity leave to my paternity leave so I can rest, because obviously you're the person that went through it. Whereas the dad, I get it, he's there and he needs to bond with the baby and all of that. Or what they do in Taiwan, I think it is, they have an allowance, a female allowance in a month, because obviously we know we menstruate and stuff, and it's sometimes very, very harsh. So they have like a 3-day allowance in the month where they can take off, I think 3 to 5 days, where they can take off because of that. That is evening out the playing field. Now you can tell me about feminism and all of this and all of that, because that is evening it out, and that is acknowledging, yes, we are not built the same, and yes, we acknowledge this, and we are working towards a better solution.
Yeah, I think you hit the nail on the head with this one. Definitely.
So with that being said, let's move on to the next poll. The next poll was okay, yes. Wait, what was it? 1 second. So the next one was dating during COVID. Yeah. Votes for multiple dates and then votes for no dates. It's been a drought. I don't know how you guys have managed, but some of you guys have been very active, because like 71% have been dating during this whole period. And I'm like, where? How? Do tell. Are you meeting these men like virtually, or these women virtually? Are they coming into your dreams? Like, what's happening, guys? How are you dating? Mm-hmm. Lovely. Yeah. Yeah.
The personal interaction that you get from seeing somebody the first time, not the, okay, let me stalk the person and see what he or she's about, because online you can do that.
Yeah.
Well, but yeah, definitely. People have been talking online and then eventually meeting up.
So, but I feel like I'm in camp, in your camp. Oh, where did that go? Hello? Janviere's gone for a second, guys. Connection issues. I'm in my dreams. Infinite Conscious Warrior says, in my dreams. I know, right? Like, these people are finding dates somehow. And I'm like, yeah, in your dreams. Like, astral projection. Maybe I projected myself into somebody's space. And then they're like, hey, let's try and get Janviere back on here. Okay. Hello, you're back now? Oh, that's fine. So, see, now on Instagram, we've got Infinite Conscious Warrior. She was saying in her dreams, she's dating people in her dreams too. And I was saying, yeah, like, that's how I feel like, through astral projection or something like that. Because essentially, the whole online dating, I'm not too comfortable with. Because it's just like, it's almost like, hey, look at me, I'm here, I'm available. But then the other part is, you can still read energies. So, for example, I did do the experiment of going on Tinder, and it was a good experiment, I feel. But obviously, I came to the conclusion I'd rather not find somebody on Tinder like that. But, you could read people's energies. You could see people's energies. So, with that being said, I have the same question. I mean, how? So, 𝗏𝗏𝗃𝗍𝗁 is asking, how did people meet? I know, right? 72 people met people throughout this COVID time and are cuddled up, I guess, and bathed up or booed up for the winter season, I'm assuming. Maybe not just for that.
I meant during this short period where you were able to go out and do things. At least that's how it worked for me. Like, I had a date who, he happens to live in Dubai, but was in Germany, in my city, during, I think it was July, August, something like that. And we were able to meet then and there. Obviously, right now we won't be able to see each other because I'm not going to fly there and he can't fly here. So, but yeah, the during the time where we were able to do things and meet people, people use that. We went for drinks, stuff like that. So.
Oh, that's lovely. So you're having international cross connections. Amazing stuff. Like, this is good. This is good. So,
Tinder even offered like their international pass during the first lockdown, so people were swiping from wherever in the world and could connect with, let's say, for me, for example, I could like connect with someone in Singapore or something.
Ooh, that sounds good. I don't know. I feel like if you're going that broad, yeah, I'm not saying long distance might not work, or I'm not saying that you might not meet somebody that's, I don't know, in Hong Kong or in Thailand or, you know, in South Africa. But what I am saying is that it kind of reminds me of, I don't know, do you remember when we were like teens and you had like MySpace and then you had, not Facebook, 𝗏𝗏𝗏 and all of that, and then you were connecting with people from God knows where? It kind of feels like that. I still kind of like the genuine connection. So in a way, you could meet somebody online and hit off and be like, yes, actually, I like this person's vibe, I like their energy, you know. But then there's a lot of patience as well involved in it, and there's a lot of, there's a different kind of commitment. Because now,
portray a completely different person than you are in reality, right? You can come across as super confident and you know, that superstar type of personality, when in reality you're not that talkative and rather the listening kind of type. And I've had those disappointing dates where like online we were getting along so perfectly, and then you sit across the person and for one he doesn't quite look like the person he is online, and then doesn't talk like that person at all. Right?
That's so true. That's like a mini catfish, isn't it?
Right?
So we've got Conscious Warrior. She's saying it's mind, body, and spirit, mind, body, and soul. You know, and then we've got 𝗏𝗏𝗃𝗏𝗃32 saying, but I think some guys are strong because my sister started dating her boyfriend online and even before COVID. So her boyfriend was in Europe, my sister was in Africa, so that her boyfriend came to Africa once to see her when he went back. So what's going on then? So are they still together, 𝗏𝗏𝗃, or, you know, how is that, you know? So since 2009 up till now, they haven't seen each other. So it's crazy. I mean, I don't think it can be possible for me. Yeah, see, that's what I'm saying.
It wouldn't be possible for me either. I mean, at some point you have to be like, okay, how often do we see each other, when and where? So if you are only seeing each other like once a year, that's not being in a relationship. I have a pen pal.
So, but she's saying that they're still together, which is amazing. That's what I'm saying, patience. There's a certain level of patience. For me, personally, I don't mind if the person is not super close to me. Like, they can be somewhere. But then, because me, my love language is quality time, right? Quality time and gifts. So obviously, if it's quality time, so we can have that quality time, but it doesn't mean that you have to be in my face, you know. But at the same time, there's some people, they need that everyday reassurance, every day in their face, you know, so it depends on the person.
You need everything, you know, and that cannot happen virtually. Like, how am I going to give you a hug through a phone?
I know, right? It's like virtual hug, and then you're like, I can virtually hug myself. But anyway, like, Infinite Conscious Warrior saying, I think the focus should be on ourselves, and in due time we interact with the world. I think that's excellent. That's what I felt COVID done for most of us. That we focus on ourselves, we heal ourselves, we take time to like fall in love with ourselves again, see what's good, see what's bad, see how, you know, what we can improve on. And as we do that, we attract the right person into our space.
I agree with that, and what I would like to add is that, you know, when you start dating now during COVID times because you feel lonely, you are coming from a very, very bad place to start a relationship with somebody. When you want somebody just because you can't deal with yourself and you just don't want to be alone, you're wanting somebody for the wrong reasons. So I think that plays a role too. So. And whenever you feel perfectly fine with yourself, and when you fall in love with yourself, you have all the more to give to another person.
And I think this is exactly what why I personally I feel like I wasn't too much of a fan of Tinder, because I felt like most of the guys on there were like, oh, okay, lockdown happened, I need to find something. I need to find someone, you know, it was so lonely, it was so I don't want it anymore, I need to find a girlfriend, or I need to find, it was like a place of need, and you can pick up on that energy, and it didn't feel nice, it doesn't feel nice. So I was like,
The objective isn't, okay, let me be with someone to build something long-term. The objective is to be, okay, how do I overcome this feeling of sadness and loneliness right now?
Exactly. And I feel like, I don't know, me personally, I like being by myself. I'm like my greatest best friend, you know. Like, I'm not gonna lie, sometimes if you know me and you sometimes think like, and you didn't know me, you might think, a few marbles away, but like essentially I like talking to myself. I like, you know, projecting, you know, like, yeah, in healing, because at the same time my inner child is so important, and I have the most fun with my inner child, and when I neglect her, that's when things might go left and right, you know. And your inner child is what keeps you young, is what keeps you fresh, is what keeps you flexible, is what keeps your spirit open, you know. And it's something that we need to do more of, and it's also something that we should we should be able to acknowledge. So when you are like, to be honest, yeah, it's something like, okay, you're walking past the rose bushes and oh my gosh, you get excited and you run up to the roses, you start smelling them, and before you know it, you're like playing in that field. Somebody might look at you like, oh my gosh, you need to grow up. And I'm like, man, you need to smell the roses. They're amazing. Can you smell that frequency? Can you feel it? It's all about feeling. It's about the vibration. It's about what the world has. There's so much beauty in this world, and there's even so much beauty in like your house, or there's so much beauty where you are, but you just need to shift your paradigm and look at that.
Yeah, it's being in the here and now rather than the yesterday and tomorrow, right? Mm-hmm. So less thinking, more feeling and being present.
Yeah, thank you, Infinite Conscious Warrior. She says thank you, she's the same. Is some indication that they are not on your frequency. Yeah. I think she's touching on the dating, the Tinder, you know, when you said exactly. Yeah. So I mean, it's all, and you feel it. And then I'm being serious, some of these guys were like, yeah, let's go, like, move in with me. And I'm like, mate, this is like the first date. Are you okay? Like, are you okay? Like, for real. I could be very loopy. I could be, you don't know. Like, how can you meet somebody on the first date and already suggest to move in with them? And at the beginning, I was just like trying to scope, is this person serious? And as time went on, the person's serious. Like, yeah, they like that, you know, something's happening, but it's not supposed to happen, but it's happening, the excitement, the adrenaline. And I'm like, if you like adrenaline, go to the theme park. Do bungee jumping, you know, hot air balloon, but don't make decisions like, oh, let's move in together. That is...
Gosh, that is so... Well, see, I had quite the experience not all too long ago. There was also somebody in that I felt like, maybe we can go somewhere, right? Mm-hmm. And I was really open to get to know the person better. But what I finally realized was that the person was more, let's say, in love with the idea of being with me than being with me. If that makes sense. So he was also like, oh yeah, we can do this, that, talk about his family and introduce me to his parents. And I'm like, dude, I need to get to know you first.
Wow.
It's just like, maybe he was just more in love with the idea of being with me than being with me. So I was like, no, maybe we should stop this right here and now.
I think it's there's 2 points. One, you said the love of the idea of you. Let's just hold on to that 1 second, because Infinite Conscious Warrior says they don't even know you and they're singing that they love you. There's like, which goes on with what you were saying, that loving the idea of you. And then TrackFit says, or love at first sight, I don't believe in that. Touching on love at first sight, what I feel like it's not love at first sight with your eyes. It's love at first, you know, it's the energy. You fall in love with the energy. So I don't think, and it's not even falling in love. You shouldn't be falling in love. You should be rising in love. Let's be honest. That's number one. Somebody else was like, bro, after a year of my ex wasn't planning on moving in, letting me alone the first date. Oh, okay. Wasn't planning on moving in, let alone first date. Okay. Yeah. Exactly. And if a question already goes 100%, I cooked today, but maybe tomorrow, tomorrow, how would you love me then? Oh, okay, so basically I cooked today, but maybe tomorrow I won't cook. So how are you gonna love me then? Do you know what I mean? And I think this is the thing, yeah. This love at first sight, that is something we need to take and put in the garbage bin. Let's be honest, because you can't see somebody. Yeah, you can feel somebody and be like, yeah, this is the person. Like, because if you're aligned with yourself, that means your intuition, your inner child spirit will guide you, and you will feel that within you. So you're feeling that spark when you're looking at that person. So it doesn't mean that you're loving them at the first sight. Yeah, but there's a connection. There's an instant connection. There's something there. So, and as you pursue it and you start to get to know the person, you realize, yeah, actually, this is very much aligned. This is a person that's suitable. But when you come from a space of love at first sight, I feel like it's a 3D mentality. It's like, I see the person. Oh my gosh, he's 6 foot something. He's dark and handsome and da-da-da-da-da. Or like, oh my days, she's, I don't know, 5'5" and she's got curves in the right places and everything. So that's when you're like, oh my gosh, this is her, you know. But this is the sight. Sight, let's be honest, how you looking like today, you might not look like in 20 years, you know. So sight is not something you should really go on by. So like, it's like have faith by, what is it? No, you're supposed to have faith in, how does this word go, this phrase go? Walk by faith, not by sight, which is exactly should be applied in dating. Date by faith, not by sight. Well, faith within yourself, faith within your intuition, faith within what is within you, you know. Let that guide you to the right person. Not be like, oh my days, this person's a 10 over 10. This is the person I need. Because in 20 years, or whatever years, when something's happening or something happens to the person and you only went to them because of looks, it's not gonna last. There's no foundation. You walk. You be like,
you only go for looks is just as superficial as to only look for money. I mean that's kind of the same principle in my eyes. So being on that level, basing your decisions on how somebody looks or how much money they make is, you're setting yourself up for failure, more or less, because the person behind the face, the person behind the money, the person behind whatever it is that's on the top ground, on the top level, that's what matters. Their morals, their outlook on life, their aspirations. That's what you should fall in love with, or whatever the case is for you.
Exactly. And I think that is something that will last a lifetime. We've got Baby on the Beat. He was saying things start to drop after a while. Better make sure the personality matches. So he's saying, don't just go for looks. Because he was saying when you look at looks, it's just hormones. It's like hormones. Damn. This person's yummy. Like it's true. When I see someone like, that person's so yummy, but like yummy doesn't really, yummy's not, you can't build on yummy. Yes. Like I go back to, we selectively breed. Selective breeding doesn't just mean like how the person looks and, you know, what their aspirations are. There's values, there's stuff that's inside, you know. You selectively breed, you know, because you're carrying on your generation and you're carrying on your lineage. So you selectively breed. So just being yummy, it doesn't cut it. Just being yummy. Exactly. Because you can be yummy, but then when I'm feeling low, what are you going to be like? Oh, just look at my handsome face. I'm yummy. So what's that going to do for me? like, this is where you should be like, no, you know what, beautiful, you can do it. You know, maybe this didn't work out, but you know, look at this. Because it's so funny. Because literally, when you're in that space, sometimes even being vulnerable, this is somebody you're choosing to be vulnerable with, yeah? So, if that's the case, you're choosing to be vulnerable with somebody, you need to be with somebody that's at the same level of frequency as you. If it's somebody if both of them are superficial, then it's fine, it will work. If one is superficial and one is deep and has core values of, you know, family, spirituality, self-development, community, then it's not going to work, because one person's going to strive, the other person's still going to be stuck on superficial, like, oh my days, you know, blah, 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 blah. So,
for connection there.
Exactly, precisely the thing. So, Baby on the Beat says, I love my dessert, but can't keep eating that all day. Low.
Lucy, right? Right, that is so true. Everything in how you say.
Exactly. Infant conscious warrior. Oh my gosh, I feel like we need to have a conversation. She's like, you want to be with somebody who can build an empire and a legacy. This is it. I said 100%. This
again, and that's why I said, like, right in the beginning, it depends on who's dating for what reason. So I'm not going to date somebody who doesn't have the same intentions in the long run. So there are people out there who are fine with being in a relationship that has no serious commitment for years and years and years and years, because their objective is not to build a home, not to have a family, not to build a legacy, whatever the case is. But if you have your eyes set on the price, and your price is building a legacy, having a family, instilling the most honorable values and morals in your children, you are going to be more careful about the partner that you choose, and more intentional about how you spend your time and who you spend it with.
Exactly, that is it. And I think it's the values. These days, even when you're dating, I mean, usually, or let's say the standard question is like, oh, how much money do you make? What job do you drive? Do you own a house? Whereas the question should be, so what are the top 3 values? That's what I like to ask, is that what are the top 3 values? Or what, if you were on an island, what are 3 things you would take with you? The reason I ask that is because you can see a person's mentality. If somebody says, phone, food, and fridge, or something like that, first of all, your logic is squared, because if you're bringing the fridge, where are you plugging it in? Like, I've had, like, you know, like, or if they're like, so-and-so, I don't know, Think and Grow Rich, the book, my phone, because, you know, it's got all my notes on it, and a journal, then you can start to understand, okay, this person is into, you know, kind of self-reflection, this person is into, you know, working on themselves, because no one will say a journal if they are not using the journal, you know. Or if somebody's like, oh, I'm going to take, what's it called? First of all, the clever answer I got one time is like, what kind of island is it? Is it like an island I need to survive, or is it an island that, you know, is a pleasure island? And then I was like, it depends on you. Because me, I leave that open for the person to show their way of thinking. And for the... Exactly. So, BB on the Beat says, one second. BB on the Beat says, my dad and mom used to be together for 25 to 30 years. Now they are apart and happier than ever. Wow. Oh. Yeah, it does. Mm. Exactly.
Sometimes some people are supposed to be on your path for a certain time in life.
And then again, you gotta let them go. So I don't think that the idea of being married and stuff means that, yeah, of course, ideally it would be beautiful if it was a forever thing, but 20 years, come on, that's amazing.
They tried. They definitely tried. And I think it's good that they separated and they're happy now. And I feel like that is the consensus anyway in our day and age, in our generation, that a lot of our parents have split up. And I'm happy that they've taken the route of self-happiness, like my parents have. And I'm really happy because they're happier now. And it's not a thing of, oh, okay, culturally, you're not supposed to, or society tells you you're not supposed to, you know, get divorced and this, that, and the third, and you have to stick it out for the children. But at the end of the day, the children will feel it. And it's not a safe space. And I feel like that's why even most of us in this generation, we're very attentive, and we take extra care when we're dating, and we analyze, and we ask the right question, or we've learned to ask the right questions just because of previous generation.
Well, like us, but I don't think that's the general census as of right now.
So how do you mean?
Yeah, I wouldn't agree that that a majority of our generation is very is asking the right questions, is thinking about it from a long-term perspective point of view, you know? So I think that more of us have, because our parents come from a generation of, you know, divorce is a normal thing, more or less. They're like, okay, it's not going to last anyway, so I'm just going to see where it goes, and don't put a lot of intentions behind it.
Okay, so I think, I understand what you're saying now, that within our circle, we think like that, but not everyone thinks like that. But I think that comes with self-reflection and, like, having, like, looking in the mirror, being like, okay, what do I want? Do I want this? I've seen this. Did it work? You know, and I feel like, as well, you're right, most people don't look in the mirror and are honest with themselves because it hurts. The truth sometimes hurts, but then from that hurt space, you can heal. Yeah.
Sincere place of self-reflection where you can critically self-reflect, you know, there will be some realizations that are not to your liking, more or less, because we want to hold ourselves up to this positive image, right? But both positive and negative attributes, and putting those two together in a way that can benefit you, and so that you can improve and become a better version of yourself. That's what it comes down to, and that's what's important.
Exactly. So BB on the beat said, yeah, 1 out of 100 on here are thinking like that. But I think it's even less than, if we're being honest, you know, like how many ask these important questions, like value. Like at the end of the day, when you know yourself, you know what you can tolerate, you know what you can tolerate, even like tolerate, I don't think is the right word. You know what you can adapt to, I would say. Because essentially, if your value is spirituality, self-development, family, community, and growth, and the person comes on and they're like, you know what, my value, my dating value is, you know, I'm here to live my best life, YOLO. It's not going to work. Let's be honest. There's nothing, you can't tolerate, there's no adaptation, there's nothing, you know.
Right.
So please, too quickly to jump into relationships before healing from a nun. And that is so true. Infinite Conscious Warrior is like, yeah, people are too quick to... So Infinite Conscious Warrior says, people are too quick to jump into a relationship before they healed from another one. And that is so, so true. And I think it's also a thing of, oh, you haven't made it in society if you haven't got a partner, you know?
It's the underlying insecurity of being alone that a lot of people have. And oftentimes they're running away rather running towards to something, right? They're running away from the bad experience that they had. They're running away from the hurt instead of running into loving themselves, running into giving somebody something that they feel they can offer. So yeah.
I definitely feel that. I definitely feel that. And essentially, at the end of the day, it starts with us, guys. So if we want to manifest this great relationship, if we want to manifest a great partner, if we want to manifest, you know, something that we're building on, that we're building a legacy on, we have to start with ourselves. And I feel like it's the most liberating thing also. Like when you look at yourself and you're like, you know what, it's okay. I am like this. Not everyone's like this, and it's fine. And I'm happy with it because I'm staying true to me. It's the most liberating feeling ever. The most liberating feeling ever of not following society, not following the trend, not
confidence that you need in life. To be aware of who you are with your flaws and everything, and to still be accepting of the person, you know, and be like, okay, no, I know I have to work on this and that. I know there are certain things I cannot change that I maybe don't like about myself, but it's okay and it's fine. You're basically untouchable.
Exactly. So somebody goes, Trackfit goes, bruh, I know somebody, she's dating for 6 years. They broke up with her boyfriend. After 4 months, they got married. I was like, damn. Wow.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
She has been in a relationship for almost 8 years with her ex-boyfriend. And they were already living together. So everybody thought, okay, they're going to make it. They're going to be together forever. But they broke up. Both got into new relationships rather quickly, like within months. And now, and it's not like, let's say 1 year after, both are either married with a child or in a new relationship with a child. So everything happened like so super quick because they were just ready. One of them is like unhappy about it. It's just like, yes, we were referring to the things that people move on too quickly, but sometimes it's just because the timing is right.
But sometimes it's also the person. So they might have been, I've seen this video, this was a pastor was preaching. He was preaching about relationships. And he was saying that you might be compatible with somebody, meaning right now you're both going through the same struggles, you're both going through the same fights, and you're compatible at this moment, but you're not suitable because what's within the foundation is not suiting to that person. So let's say right now you're both starting businesses and you're both, you know, going X, Y, and Z, but your value is family, is building your empire, is leaving a legacy, is, you know, growing as a person, but their value is making the money, enjoying the best life, living lavish, YOLO. It's not going to work, because once you grow or you heal out of that space, so now your business takes off and you're healed, you are not longer compatible with this person, meaning you outgrow the person. So you need to find somebody you're suitable with.
Not connecting on the things that matter anymore. So yeah, that's life.
Exactly. So Track Fit says, because 𝗵𝗶 on the beat was like, oh no, there must have been some cheating going on for her to leave 6 years and then 4 months later she's married. And then Track Fit goes, exactly, the girl had something going on behind the scenes. Infinite Warrior says, that is too soon. She got married real quick because she's still hurting. And then Emily likes this. Thanks, Emily. And then it was dating again, I understand, but marriage, bruh. Okay, so it's true. It could be in that scenario that she had something going on and that's why she got married to this person. But in life, it could be that this compatibility and suitability, that obviously you were compatible with this person for a long time and now you've outgrown and now you find somebody you're suitable with and you're like, yeah, there's no point wasting another 7 years of my life. I'm suitable, we're suitable, and let's go.
Well, there are so many law stories that start more or less with the when you know, right? The people that meet know right away what they want, and they see it in the other person, and likewise, and they know, okay, why waste any time, as you said. And sometimes, well, a lot of times that happens, and when you have that combination with like goals that align with one another, you're setting up yourself for a good for a relationship.
Exactly. And then also it's one of them things sometimes, the compatibility, I can understand, I can relate that, because moving on to like the next topic, which was basically platonic relationships, does it exist? Yeah. So I put this post out about whether it's possible to be platonic. So I put out, wait 1 second. It was, do platonic relationships exist or work between ex-romantic sexually involved partners? 40% of people were like, works for me. 60% were like, it's a myth. So with the platonic relationship, here obviously is describing, this is a super platonic relationship that's been described, which is platonic relationship, or a close platonic relationship is reassuring shoulder, arm, hand grabbing, platonic tight, meaningful hugs, platonic late night deep conversations that end in at least one person holding back tears or sobbing, platonic sleeping in the same bed, platonic forehead touches, platonic staring into each other's eyes like the other person is the world, platonic cuddles. Personally, they lost me at platonic what, forehead something, like, because you know them forehead kisses, yeah, like they do, so that's your third eye, they be kissing your third eye, that's very, you sure that's platonic, or you know, so yeah, I think you're right in a way. I do think, well, obviously, when we're looking at the results, most of the people, like 99.999% of men said it works for them. It's interesting, isn't it? Men are like, yeah, I'm cool with my ex. Like, she's platonic, I see her as platonic, and we're just, you know. So I think it's definitely interesting that it was more men that were saying that it works, you know, platonic relationship.
It makes me laugh because when I think of it, when I have any sort of platonic friendship going on with a male, it will always end up in, you know what, I have more feelings for you than I wanted to admit, coming from the male part, right? So now I'm just like, really? You guys are the first ones to fall in love or something. So no, I really don't believe that's possible. Oh, hey, if it works for you, it works for you, right?
Yeah, I definitely, it's interesting. I think, personally, I think it can work. The way it's described here is very intimate, I'm not gonna lie. I mean, platonic, you can stay in the same bed as the person. Platonic, like I said, the forehead is a bit out of the question, you know? Like, platonic hugs, I understand you can have a platonic relationship with somebody maybe you were sexually involved with before, and now you see them, if you're female, you see them as your brother, or you see them as, you know, like there's that agape love. It's no longer like eros, sexual love, you know?
And I ask myself, is why? What for? I mean, regardless of does it work or does it not work, if that platonic friendship is already so deep and so connected and so intimate, why not just go ahead and take it to another level? Would you continue on and would you allow this to continuously go on when you are in a relationship and want your partner to accept that kind of platonic relationship? I don't know if I would feel comfortable.
So I understand where you're coming from. The other side would be that person might have been there through your trial and tribulations. That person might have been there. Because remember, we are saying that this person was there before your partner, right? And yes, you would respect your partner and be like, okay, because this person, you know, this is like, we are very close. This is my platonic relationship with them. Are you comfortable with X, Y, and Z? I think there needs to be some level of communication. So are you comfortable with X, Y, and Z? If you're not comfortable with me staying at that person's house, okay, I understand. But obviously you need to understand that this person is in my life. This person, we're very close. Obviously, if you... Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You draw the line and you tell them, or you present it to them. You don't hide it, one. And you don't make it to be something that it's not. I personally think platonic relationships...
That pretty much would indicate that there's more to it than this platonic friendship.
Exactly. But
there's no reason to hide it or to go around it as if it wasn't what it is.
So if you're saying why it didn't work, it couldn't have worked for many multiple reasons. For example, I don't know, like you were on different paths, you know, different lifetimes. They are different geographic, you know, locations. It's different reasons why it might have not worked. But to then say, okay, this person you're a bit too close, cut them off, I think is not right. Because when you meet somebody, you meet them like this.
I wouldn't say cut them off, because that's just something I wouldn't get into to begin with. You know, see, for me personally, I think that's something, well, intimacy starts with sharing your thoughts and your dreams, and then also all those things you mentioned on your list. So having this experience with someone I do not intend to be my future husband, for me, it's kind of has a wrong feel to it. I wouldn't allow that to happen, and I wouldn't want my potential future partner to have that experience with somebody they still want to have close around them. I don't want to have another woman be like, oh, I know him so well, like better than you know him probably. No, it doesn't resonate with me.
Okay, I hear that. So let's read about the actual replies. So it was like, if your partner tells you about their super close platonic relationship with one of the ex-bays, would you be okay then to spend a night there? So somebody was like, yeah, I respect the honesty, plus I think it's weird to preempt cheating like that. We didn't preempt cheating, we're just saying that you know, would you allow them to spend the night there? That's it. It's not to say that they're going to cheat. It's just to say, like, they're like, okay, I'm in this town, my platonic, you know, bestie or whoever is there. Okay, I'm going to spend the night there. Are you okay with that? This was a male. A male was like, yes, they would trust the honesty. 𝗵𝗶 on the beat says, at the end of the day, a high part of love is purely hormonal. And if you are this intimate, the chances are that something will happen. I don't know. I feel like you need to give that person also accountability and like credit, because you just assuming that something will happen is you assuming the person is weak-minded, or the person is it's not strong-willed, or the person's not serious about what you guys are building. You know, that's how I would see it. Because at the end of the day, you can only trust somebody so far. You can't control people. Like if they...
You shouldn't let it, not in the name of, you know, having trust and stuff. I think why allow even give the possibility of something going on room. Like it's not like you're trying to say don't ever meet that person again, but staying the night where, you know, after a couple of drinks of wine, people need to just start looking each other in the eye very deeply and sparks fly and stuff like that. No, why would I give room to that when they can still have like that great friendship and they meet during daytime or also in my presence or whatever? Like go to.
I understand. So just a special shout out to Infinite Conscious Warrior. Thank you so much for spending this time with us, and we'll catch you on the next live next Sunday. So with that, you're right. You're completely right. But let's just say now, your partner doesn't drink, and your partner is very, very aware, and it just happened that they're stuck in this town, you know, and they're platonic.
And yeah, my partner doesn't have to sleep there.
Okay, I get it. We've got your one is a no. There's no out of the question, basically. So if we go through, somebody else, a female goes, it's not my job to keep him faithful, but it is my vow to trust him till proven guilty. Yes, because if he cheated, it is because he wanted to. So he would eventually. So okay, she's like, yeah, her partner can go and spend the night at the platonic partner's place. Somebody else is like, no. Another female is like, nope, nope, nope. And then another female is like, nah. After saying that platonic relationships can work and she is in one or has one, she's like, nope, he's not spending the night there. So fair enough, you guys. So we've got a few more actually answers in the DM. So I'm just quickly going to go through them. We see that, okay. Seems impossible. Even talking over social media, it seems like a long shot. People don't know how to value patience and give time to someone who you see as your long-term partner. It is long shot. I think it's easier to be alone than to deal with the stress of maintaining a connection with someone somehow through any means. So I think that is pertaining dating. Infinite Conscious Warrior will be the same time, so from 12 p.m. to 2 p.m. GMT. I will message you as well. I will grab that and then send you a message on the DM. So 𝗵𝗶 on the beat goes, I was in the same room and my girl would get a forehead kiss. I wanted to smash that person's face in. Oh, if I was in the same room, my girl was getting... fair enough. Yes, okay. Don't be in the same room as 𝗵𝗶 on the beat's ex. Or, yeah, and be giving her forehead kisses. That's unacceptable. So, then we have... Yeah, okay. Oh, this is in regards to the first date. Yeah, the man should pay. Personally, that's how it should be. This generation, though, chivalry is dead. They would go halves. Okay, and then somebody else says, whatever, I go with the flow in regards to going Dutch or paying 50-50. I think that's more open, isn't it? Like, I'll go with the flow, it depends on the energy, depends on the vibe, you know. So they're not saying... So, and then somebody else goes, yes, he has to pay because I'm a queen. She knows it. She's like, she plays her title. She's like, this is my position. So, and then, exactly, girl, claim it. So, yeah, so we're going to wrap this up in about, we've got like 20 minutes left. So the other thing that we spoke about COVID, dating during COVID. We talked about a little bit like traditional and feminist, like the traditional versus modern. And we spoke also about platonic relationships. So you based in Germany. So I would like to dive into that a little bit. So how is dating like in Germany? Because from my friends that, you know, lived in Germany and then came over here to the UK, have said that Germans are very cold when you date them, and they're very like, that kind of 50-50 attitude. So I want to find out more from you how dating in Germany is.
Talk about everybody, obviously. However, I'm very grateful that Germany is like a very multicultural country, and because if it only came down to Germans, they are very rational thinkers. What a lot of people see as a rather cold and distanced is that they don't try to romanticize things so much, and they just get down to the nitty-gritty. And yeah, I mean, I would agree to what she says, because the Germans, I mean, it's their women, you know, that were so up on the forefront, working hard for emancipation and fighting for their rights and stuff. So in a sense, I feel that one of those consequences was that their men eventually decided to be like, you know what, you want this, you do you, and if you want me, I'll be there. But they don't come from a place of, okay, I want to have a woman in my life that I can provide for, and something that maybe you would say Americans come from, when you have like the traditional outlook on family and setting a high priority on that. Germans don't really prioritize family and like gender roles. So that's a natural consequence that comes out of it. So they're not very chivalrous. They don't come and they don't try to sweep you off your feet, more or less, right?
Yeah.
It is, but you pick and choose, and I, for myself, have come across very, very, very great gentlemen that are Germans, and very generous also. So it's not the rule. Yeah, dating in Germany is interesting.
Okay, so I can imagine it being interesting. Like, for example, here in especially in the UK, especially in London, you can be going about your business, and then somebody will stop you in the street and be like, "Oh my gosh, you're so beautiful. Can I have your number?" So would that happen in Germany?
No, well, not from a German. Maybe from somebody with a different cultural background who's been raised and born in Germany, but no, from like this, say, German that's been has no other cultural identity than being German. No.
Okay, fair enough. So Beyond the Bee asked a question. He's like, so as a girl idol, what are your do's and don'ts for a guy when you go on a first date with him? So do's and don'ts. Do's is like the guy does pick up the bill. Do is I would love for him to have planned it. I like it when the guy takes charge. So it's like, listen, I'll pick you up at 8, and then just give a code, give a dress code. It's like, okay, dress up. Maybe it's a fun date, so you know, wear something like Tim's. Be more flexible. So it's basically the guy takes the initiative, and the guy just gives a code. I like that whole, you know, a little bit of mystery, a little bit of adventure, you know, like not the whole typical standard thing, okay, we're going X, Y, and Z. And that can also work, you know, it depends, you know, communication is also key. So if you're running late, please let me know. Obviously, it's not a good impression for a guy to be late, but if you're running late, just communicate that. It's like, you know what, oh, I'm stuck in a bit of traffic, I'll be with you 30 minutes later. Instead of like not saying anything and turning up 30 minutes later. Because by that time, in a woman's mind, the woman might have cancelled the date already. And, you know, be like, oh, okay.
Disrespected. I definitely say a don't is not taking initiative. See, putting in some effort is really, really what it comes down to. And when a man doesn't take the initiative to ask you out and be like, okay, let's set a time and date. Because there is this guy, for example, who had been messaging me for such a long time. So, yeah, we should definitely go on a date. And I was like, okay, I already was ready to agree to it. But he would say that over and over again and never set a date or asked for it when am I available or anything like that. So that obviously leads to nowhere, because he can say that he wants to go on a date with me, but as long as he's not initiating it, it's not going to happen, because I'm not going to be like, you know what, a Friday evening, be ready and let's go on a date. I will never, ever, ever do that.
Yeah, and it's kind of like,
and thoughts into the first date, that's bad.
And it's like kind of like unattractive, isn't it? Like if you can't kind of keep repeating the same thing, but I don't see no actions. Even if, whether it's a date or whether it's not a date, whether it's just even you saying, okay, I'm gonna start running, and you're just singing it and you're not doing it. It's not attractive. Like, and then BB on the Beat says, I already have a hard time choosing what to eat for myself. Indecision is my biggest holding back. Duly noted. Yeah, so all I'm saying is, if you're like indecisive about what to eat, then find out about her. It's like, oh, so anyway, what are you into? You know, what do you like eating? You know, you can just, you know, food is so amazing, because exactly, would you like, exactly, shall we go Chinese? And the girl's like, no, actually I don't eat Chinese. I don't eat meat. And then you're like, okay, so now you know the girl don't eat meat. Now you could, yeah, exactly. So just fish, so dabble, BB on the beat, dabble into that. Like, ask questions, and women like it anyway when you ask them questions and allow them to talk about themselves and so forth. So, you know, like, what's your favorite meal can be one, or, you know, last time you went out, where did you go? Or what's your favorite restaurant? You know, like, just play. It's like sushi, 9 out of 10. Not everyone likes sushi though, but yeah, sushi is a great way to go if you know, want to see or want to take out somebody. But it's definitely, initiative is very attractive. Assertiveness is very attractive. These are like just qualities that lets you know what kind of man the person is, or what kind of man this man is, you know. So obviously,
active, no.
Exactly. If he says something, does he actually do it? Because that's my biggest thing. It doesn't matter if you're a man or a woman. Like, or in my friendships, the one thing is that we're always direct with each other, and it always comes from a place of love, but we're direct. There's no thing of like going around the fence or something. Obviously, there's a way of delivering it. If somebody, for example, I don't know, has something on and it doesn't suit them, don't straight away go, oh my gosh, it's hideous, take it out. It's like, you know what, this actually piece doesn't bring out your eyes, or doesn't bring out your complexion. It's not as nice as that yellow one. You know, that yellow one, it makes you do you know what I mean? Give constructive feedback that helps the person. You know, it's like, oh, that blue might not be your best color, but yellow is amazing on you, like always amazing on you. So that is helping the person. So can the person be honest with you? Because if the person says, okay, I'm going to do this, and doesn't do this, that means they're inconsistent. And if they're inconsistent, that means essentially it might seep into, you know, your relation. Is that what you want? Do you want inconsistency? But if they could
hold people accountable on their actions and not judge them by their actions and their character. You can talk such a good talk. We have so many people in the world who are genius and brilliant talkers. But when it comes down to proving or putting those words into actions, there are not too many people who follow their words. So I'd rather be with someone who is rather quiet on that end, but whose actions just speak volumes. You know.
Exactly.
The brilliant person who he's like so self-assured and so confident and talks a good game, but is miserable when it comes to executing.
And it's always the silent ones, the silent workers. I don't know how it is with you, but personally, when I've got something going on, like a project, and I don't say anything to anyone, it's amazing. But when I say don't say anything to anyone, like if I'm working with you, obviously I'll communicate with you what I'm doing, but then no one else knows, and then bam, it's done.
Like, oh, you, to friends and family, like, you know, I'm working on this great thing. Oh, I'm doing this. I'm planning on doing that. Like, shh, no.
Exactly.
Is involved in some sort of way, or can be of value because he or she is on a similar path, so you can exchange thoughts and ideas to support one another. There's no point in telling people your plans.
Exactly. Don't tell them, show them. And that's the thing. That is the motto, show. So if somebody's committed to you, or if somebody wants to date you, if somebody wants to see you, let them take initiative. And it can be a thing of, for example, the guy suggests, oh, you know what, I'm going to come see you. Actually, I shouldn't, you know, do that, or I shouldn't have said that. That's him still taking initiative, which means now of that, the woman can, you know, throw something out there. But if the guy doesn't say anything, the woman doesn't say anything, it's something that will just essentially fizzle out. So with that being said, you as a man, if you know what you want, go for it. You go for it in life, and you go for it dating wise, you know, and the woman will feel that energy, and that will make her more attracted to you. It adds that value. It adds to your stock value.
So yeah, to your dating market value.
Exactly. So guys, we have about 8 minutes left. So this is Outspoken Truth. Today we are with the lovely Janviere, and she is telling us, you know, her insight of dating in Germany, what it's like. So Janviere, what would you say was your best date so far, and why?
Oh, that is an interesting question. Oh my God. I would say it was one that I had very little expectations in terms of I was just going to see very, very open-minded, you know, because I'm a planner, I'm a thinker. So that date I really was like, okay, you know what, I'm just gonna go there. This guy was very, very persistent, so I was more or less just giving him a chance. Was very persistent, and we went out for dinner, of course, but he was so sweet. We had like the greatest conversations. Yeah, I think when you have your standards, you have them, and going into a date, coming with an open mind. Don't come up what you want that person to be like, you know, and you might be surprised.
Exactly. And I feel like also when you are dating, if you're not focused on the person, but you're focused on what, like, you have that image of what you are attracting or what you are open to, you realize over time either whether that person matches that, or whether that person was just somebody that came along for you to realize, okay, that's not it, but I learned this from you, and you carry on. Whereas if you become fixated on the person, that often just ruins everything. So gat too, like it just it just crosses everything. Yeah.
Through it. Experience.
And I think it's also like it's a you gotta kiss some frogs. I definitely feel like you gotta kiss some frogs. It is what it is, you know. Like obviously, like I told you guys, I don't really like the whole princess savior kind of thing, but I still like the idea of a princess. Do you know what I mean? But it doesn't mean that the prince has to come and save her. It just means sometimes you just gotta kiss a few frogs to get to your prince,
We're at it, and it's we're soon coming to an end. You've been talking about your personal experiences and stuff too. How are you moving forward into 2021 with your dating life? Is dating anything that you're even thinking of? Is it on your radar? Are you planning to go out on dates? What's your stance?
Funny enough, I am open to dating now. I'm in my stage. For a long time, obviously, I was dating, but I wasn't not open to it, but I wasn't focused on it. And not saying that I'm focused on it, but I'm just open to dating. So if somebody comes to me now, I will consider them. Whereas before, it was very like, nope, I need to focus on this, I need to focus on that. Whereas now, I'm actually open to it. I'll give you the time of day, and we'll see whether it can go somewhere, or we'll see whether it whether it develops. And I feel like it's a natural progression, because sometimes, you know, in life you just know when the time is, and you just sink in, and it doesn't have to do anything with it's got to do more with your own personal growth. You know, you're ready, like I'm ready to be open, I'm ready to share, I'm ready to give. Whereas before it wasn't like me, it was just like me, I just need to build still, I still need to focus on myself, I still need to, you know, don't get me wrong, we're always still growing. Exactly, there's always work to be done, but now you can feel like, okay, I'm on a path where I can share this. I know how I am, I know how I'm still evolving, I know where I'm going. If somebody aligns with that, then amazing, this is amazing stuff. If I can contribute to them as they contribute to me, amazing stuff. So I'm open and I'm ready to contribute. That's how I would put it. Yeah. So 2021 should be an interesting year. I would definitely be looking, like I said, I'm open. I'm open now. Like, that's it. I'm just open.
It holds all the best for you, Idol.
Oh, thank you. And yourself. I would be interested to find out what's going on with you now. Now that I know, we'll be doing weekly check-ins.
Well, for now, nothing's going to be happening. You know, I'm drowned with work, with school, with my baby, and our project.
I know, right?
Focused on that. I'm very excited about this part of my life where it's more or less the hustle stage, if you want to call it that. So when I'm ready, and if I'm ready, I want to be all in, but that's not right now.
Yeah, I understand that. And I think, isn't it exciting when you're like focused on self and you're focused on building your path, your streams, your different streams of revenue, your different streams of, you know, self-expression and growth. It's amazing. And it's like, I don't know, there's like this fire that comes within you, like, or that's ignited.
It's a different type of love.
Exactly. So guys, thank you so much for tuning in today to Outspoken Truths. Today was the topic of dating, first dates and the impressions and what expectations are, platonic relationships, and obviously dating during COVID. Today we had the lovely Janviere with us. So Janviere, where can people find you? Where can people, you know, if they want to connect with you, how let us know.
Of course. Thank you so much, first of all, for having me. Your audience seems to be so amazing. They can find me on all socials under Janviere. On Instagram, it's JanviereXO. And I'm really looking forward to more of your podcasts and your sessions here. It's very, very entertaining. Thank you so much.
Thank you. So I'm going to tag you in the bio on Instagram Live so people can actually see this or hear it back, play it back and find you. And also, like, thank you for taking the time today to, you know, accept this call and, you know, spend your time with us. Somebody says spell it out. Could you spell it out for them?
Of course I can spell it out. It's Janviere, and for Instagram you're at 𝗍𝗃𝗁. On other socials like Facebook and YouTube it's just Janviere, Janviere.
Perfect. So I hope you guys got it. Somebody said good job. Thank you so much to 𝗁𝗃𝗁. And yeah, we will see you. I will see you next week. We will have Janviere back. I'm sure you'll be back sometime. And yeah, have a lovely, lovely Sunday, guys. I wish you lots of love and blessings. May this new week bring prosperity, bring calmness, bring a sense of wholeness to you. You know, try and manifest something great for yourself this week. What is the one thing you want to manifest this week? Focus on that and manifest it for yourself. With that being said, we will see you I will see you next week. I'm like, we will see you next week. And bye, guys. So
that was great.
Yes. Thanks. Let me just quickly stop.
Oh, you are so amazing. I really respect your hustle. You really